Good evening, everybody, and welcome to CS. Oh goodness, I've got that mixed up already. CSS Competitive Speed Series. I got there in the end, didn't I, Ollie? I'm joined by Ollie again this week. Thank you very much for joining me after last week as well. You haven't found it too terrible for us, but so yeah, thank you along, and I hope you're looking forward to this week as well, Ollie.
I am. I mean, after last week, Gareth, we had a fantastic time, didn't we? Great racing in Saudi Arabia, and we're back at another street circuit this evening. I just can't wait, Gareth. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be class.
Yeah, Baku is. You and I in the past have had some incredible commentary around Baku, and if you haven't seen it, to everyone in CSS that hasn't have been sleeping under a rock for the last 3 nights, that haven't seen PC or the PS or the PlayStation side of things, there was 2 incredible races. I am just going to move my camera slightly so it doesn't look like I've got no chin at all. But yeah, what a race in PC, where we had, what is it, second to fifth separated by 0.15 seconds crossing the line, which is absolutely amazing. And Ryder Dahl on the PlayStation side of things taking the win, while on the final lap overtaking down that long straight. So no one really knew what was going on, and I don't think any of them they did either. But enough about that. We're not here for those guys. Let's have we're here about the Xbox sides, and let's have a look at the standings after Jeddah. So 3 rounds in, TTM esports have 116 points. Could have been a hell of a lot more had they managed to get their act together at Baku, but CRE with 94, FRT on 91, and BRT, favourites by a lot of people for this season, only on 84. Still plenty of rounds to go, and Team Shizou throwing themselves in there, and Novus as well. You know, all the way down to 6. There's not really that many points in it when it's a team aspect race.
Absolutely, Gareth. You know, like you said, down to 6th. You know, that's one race could change your standing completely. You could, if you're Novus Racing, you get first and second. That jumps you right up towards the top of the table. You know, it can change so quickly in this league. As we saw last week, how things change with safety cars, virtual safety cars. Small mistakes from drivers cost them a hell of a lot of time last week. So anything can change at any time. So I'll see that again tonight in another street circuit.
Yeah, and Baku, that really long straight, and as we saw in both of the races on the PlayStation PC side of things, it can cause so many overtaking opportunities into turn 1, and then you've got turn 4 as well, isn't it? The second long straight, turn 3 after the second DRS straight. Still plenty of overtaking opportunities here. For Baku, the tight bit. I know some drivers try go into turn 7 as well, don't they? But we've looked at the qualifying time for PC was a 1:37.2, and the one for PlayStation was 1:36.8. The only driver to make it into the 1:36s was the PlayStation driver, and that was TTM Flotman, who is a fantastic driver. Unable to take victory in the PlayStation side of things, safety car or a middle safety car caught him out. But are we? You know, the last 2 weeks we've seen Xbox side of things not generally as quick as the other side of the boot. Do you think this week we could see something special from one of these guys out there?
Well, we could. You know, I mean, anything's possible, Gareth, isn't it? With a circuit like this, it's so key to get your exits nailed on. With such long, flowing straights, you need as much speed as you can. So if they're going to do it, they might do it here, Gareth. But I could argue last week was a quick circuit, and they should have done it then as well. So just don't know, do you? But if they nail something that, like as you know as well as I do, getting the exit at 16 is so key. You go wide, you lose the back end, and there's someone behind you. By the time you get to turn 1, they're 5-10 car lengths ahead of you. So it's so key to get that right in the race, and obviously in qualifying, it's going to matter as well. It'll be interesting. We didn't see it much last week, Gareth, but whether they work together down this long straight in qualifying, it could well be somewhere where when it's the team aspect of the league is heating up now. Could that come into play this evening?
I think we'll probably see it more in the race, boxing other drivers in, and especially into turn 1. You might see, well, the TTM guys have a serious amount of pressure on them after not having the best of lucks last time out. Same as PGR. PRT. BRT even. While I'm getting mixed up with all the names of all these, let's go down the team order one more time this week. And FRT are in the V-Carb car. McLaren are Novus. Williams are TTM. Shizou are in the Red Bull. I think we've already had a Ferrari been on track. They're just getting out now. Shizou are in the Red Bull. FG are in Mercedes. Sauber, we see BRT. TR in the Aston Martin. XPG in the Ferrari. CRE are the Alpine. And of course, finally but not least, the Haas team is AMS. Let's head over to trackside I say quickly, for 16 and a half minutes. To see how this one will pan out. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to take victory. As we've just seen, Detol bin it into the wall. Q, I don't know, Charles Leclerc, I am stupid memes right now, I think, because that is not what you want to do this early on, especially with Detol, who had a pretty good race out last time.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to speak about the circuit really, Gareth. We were obviously the car section is the tightest part of the circuit, single file up the hill there, and already Detol unfortunately hitting the inside wall, losing his front left, and that's what Alpine down in the early stages of this Grand Prix, and he's going to obviously start at the back. Finn Bob, I don't know whether he's lagged out or he's made a mistake as well, but unfortunately that is Detol starting from the back, and he can't even get a chance to practice properly, Gareth, in this race. Work on his strategy. He's going to have to reprogram himself now and try and figure out what his plan is in this Grand Prix.
Obviously, they will do some practice before this, but you're right. You kind of want it there and then. You know, qualifying isn't just about qualifying. It's about just the final finishing touches, isn't it? As unfortunately, Detol is being caught there. I will double check to see if there is any penalties from last week. Steward decisions. For the reason as to why Finbob has gone already, or whether that was a mistake. Finbob and Quantum both have qualifying bans, so instead of doing the research into the races from Sunday night and Friday night, I probably should have done the research into my own division. There goes the bollard from JTO 40, JT040, whichever one. I'm just going to call him JTO. But yeah, he's looking relatively quick in the TTM team at the moment. Let's see what the Williams driver can continue to do.
Sorry, trying to find him on my list, Gareth. He looks like he's made an invalidation, unfortunately, coming through turn 15 there. So that's him going around another time to try and set a proper lap time, as we finally got a lap time on the board of 38.2. And that's already beaten straight away by Venom there in the Red Bull, taking a 38.2 as well. But times are starting to fly in now, Gareth, as the cars fly down this enormous straight we have here in Baku.
Let's have a look at Liam Hardman. He's coming across next. We've had 5 drivers set a lap time, quite spaced out, and it's even more spaced out with some of these times. Supply Raptor is possibly not the next one, but he's the next one we're going to see go across the line, and the V-Carb Clark goes pole position with the 1:37.666. Maybe he is in cahoots with the devil, if you know what that means. Oh, goodness me. The Ferrari of XPG Flame is having issues at what I can only describe a really poor part of the track. Is that turn 20, I think, or turn 19? I think his back end just went there. Not that I'm at any of these close to these guys in skill, Gareth, but I have made that mistake coming through there. There's a tap of the wall on the inside, and they can send you around coming through 19, and it looks like that's what's happened to Flame. Bourbon Boy having troubles as well, Gareth. He had a crash at the car section, losing his front wing. So the Ferrari team early doors are having some minor issues, but luckily still early in the session, plenty of time. I think AMS Partek is now going to set a lap time. He said, I say going to set a lap time. He must have pulled out of his previous one and decided to restart and re-go again. I'm just looking in the chat, and it looks like TTM Alcin has a wheel issue which is not ideal. Not when the pressure is on TTM already. You don't want added pressure through all this. Partak then through the castle section, and he is able to get through there cleanly.
Yeah, he did. He hit the wall coming through the middle sector there, Gareth, early on, but he's flying on this long left hand of 12, 13 and 14 into 15, late on the brakes as he possibly could. Skims the wall on the outside, flat out, down towards 16, into the final sector here. He is quicker on this lap, obviously, than his 1:59 originally. But now it's head down, flat out, coming through these corners. DS should open shortly, and let's see where he will pop out on his first flying lap.
As he heads on down, the DRS flap will open just about now, and then down as far to the left as possible, because you want that for the overall time. It's a much, much quicker time than his previous one, but still not enough to get him off the last place of the current qualifying times. He's agonising close to the Aston of Liam Hardman, but it's not to be. Unfortunate for him. Is his teammate AMS Rambo going into the pits? Yes, he is. So we have maybe XPG Flame will do a lap this time, but we'll go on board with his teammate for the time being, I think. Actually, no, let's go on board with TTM Alcin, because he is definitely on a lap time, and hopefully he won't have a wheel disconnect this time. There is a story behind the flame incident at turn 19, but I'm not going to go into that one anyway. What can TTM Alcin do into turn 4? Turn 3. I will get that corner number correct at one of these points in this race, but it's looking nice and tight at the moment for the TTM driver.
Yeah, he's just coming down towards turn 7 now, towards the car section where his teammate, sorry, blue cars are confusing me already. But coming through the car section here, just somehow weaves it through. Great driving on this quali lap. Runs wide as possible as you can, coming round towards the end of sector 2. Doesn't look like he's having any wheel issues this time around. Gareth, nice and smooth coming through the section. He's got a car ahead of him, but that might help him if anything. But they are ghosting and letting out of the way, which is nice of them. Did hit the bollard coming through turn 15 there. Don't think that's affected the car too much. And again, flying down the main straight here, and we'll see where the Williams driver will pop out on this lap.
You've got to be so sensitive with your inputs through this as well. You don't want to be steering too much or too little, because, well, funnily enough, it's a street circuit, and you'll cause an immense amount of damage. But he is at 1:37.656, a little bit quicker than Supply Raptor, but not by much. And with the times, the tyre, I guess the tyres, it's not about the tyres, it's about the track warming up and getting more gripped in and rubbered in. Times I reckon we'll be hitting the 37.2s tonight, same as the PCs, but we'll have to wait and see how these guys will handle it. XPG Flame is on a lap. Let's see how he handles the pressure, and hopefully not spinning for a point at turn 19.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? But it's difficult on the circuit, as I'm trying to find him on my list of cars. But these guys, they're still getting their bank laps in, Gareth. Still 8 minutes, just shy 8 minutes, 30 left in the session now. They're still getting used to it. I know you said I'm sure they've all done plenty of practice how important this series is to them. But they're just getting used to it. Qualifying is a high pressure environment. They're slowly bedding themselves in, getting ready for the session, and then obviously the race afterwards. So they've still got plenty of time to get 2, 3, even 4 laps in if they really want to. But obviously that's going to wear the tyres out. But we'll see how they crack on with just shy of 8 minutes left now.
Yeah, he's heading down the start-finish. This should be. He's far over to the right-hand side, so I'm guessing he's not doing the optimal line. He has set a lap time. It is quicker than his teammate, who's managed a 1:42.3. So that will definitely be quicker at some stage through it. Treat is now the Treat is on a lap through sector 2, through the. Is it Grosjean hit me or Ericsson hit me? I can't remember which one hit who, where. But he doesn't seem to have taken turn 15 at all how you would think you would want to. He was very, very close to the apex. Well, yeah, close to the apex before actually meant to be there. But anyway, as he comes through these nice, smooth inputs of turns 17, 18, 19 and 20, he's heading down to set a lap time. And where will the Mercedes driver end up?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit off the front here, Gareth, as he crosses the line into eight. He's into the top 10 there, Treat. So I'm sure he'll be happy with that. But again, there's definitely places to improve. Obviously, we jumped on him quite late on that lap, and he hit the wall coming out of 15. So time still to find, I think, for the Merc driver. I think he is going around again. It looks like, or he's just flying around trying to get a new set of tyres on to go again. We've got yellow flags in sector 2, and it looks like that could be Flame out of the session, Gareth.
Yeah, Flame is definitely making a name for himself tonight, and you're not going to, well, he's going to be no higher than 11th, and that's a problem for the Ferrari team, the XPG team there. But AMS Rambo is coming through the castle section now, up through 8, 9, 10, and 11, and it seems relatively smooth from AMS Rambo, but not maybe as smooth as Alcin's one earlier on, because he did clip the wall at turn 10, which is not ideal at all. That's something you don't really want to do here.
Absolutely not. No, clipping any wall on this track it isn't ideal. But it shows how difficult the circuit is with just over 5 minutes left. Still two drivers yet to do lap times here. As you see, a queue of cars getting out of the way of Rambo as he comes down the straight. Here, it might be a bit of a slow time from him. Obviously, he's made mistakes on this lap. Still time to find, still time to go. But that puts him on to up to 14th, directly behind his teammate. But still a way off his teammate there in Partek. But again, like I said, Gareth, plenty of time left. They don't need to panic just yet. But it might be setting in for a few of the drivers. We just don't know yet.
Well, I believe Quantum was one of the qualifying bans for this, so we've now finally got all our drivers set for times that can set times, other than Detol, who has invalidated, and Finbob was the other driver to not be able to set a lap time. But here is NVR Samuel then, a 1:38.2 is that's time set himself to beat. A little bit of pressure on him. He needs to be. Well, he needs to be up as high as possible so he can help Quantum fight through the field earlier on. Now, we haven't had this discussion, been able to discuss this yet, but there is a possibility of rain here at Baku. We had it on the PC side of things, so that something could still happen. So maybe some that is sitting in the back of some people's minds regarding setup, but I know we do have a restart, so it shouldn't affect them that much. But MVR Samuel looking good. It's looking relatively smooth and much better than AMS Rambo's attempt through the castle section. He didn't clip the wall, so that's always a good thing as well.
Okay, so he's on train track coming through that castle section there. Gareth millimetres off the wall, but flying his way through up the hill there. Down the hill he goes now. Oh, there's a big old swerve from him coming over the curb at 15. That might affect his time. He's purple still, though, coming through the middle sector. Hops a curb slightly on the exit of 16 there, but head down, foot to the floor as he glides his way through the final couple of corners on the lap. Currently in P7. Can he break the current P1 time? I think he might do with the speed he was going down going through the sector, but he comes into the pits and he won't be setting any time there. I'm not sure what happened there from Samuel. He didn't invalidate it, but pulls into the box.
Liam Hardman is up on his time and across the line, but it's only enough, if half a second up, but it's only enough to put him ahead of XPG Flame. And I wonder if his going back to the previous driver who we were on board with, which I can't remember who it was, NVR Samuel decided to go into the pits because of the mess up at turn 15. TTM Alcin goes at 37.3. He's setting the early benchmark here with 2.5 minutes left of the qualifying session remaining. Supplied Raptor goes across the line. It's up, but it's only a little bit up. It's not enough to worry TTM Alcin at this moment in time. And, these two, qualifying's over and done with for Alcin and Supply Raptor.
Yeah, I think so. Unless they want to do another lap on those tyres. Again, it's risk versus reward, Gareth. Can Alcin, is that time enough for him to hold P1? Maybe. Does Rapid try and go one more time? But again, then you'll have another a lap on those tyres. It's something to consider. But look at all the flurry of cars on the track now, Gareth. It's going to be. I think there might be some slipstreaming happening on the straight coming down into turn one to finish off their laps in this final flurry of qualifying here in Baku.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Bourbon Boy's flashing an awful lot. I think his qualifying for this lap is done. I think he's just saving. Yeah, he's 7/10 up, so he's harvesting massively. But I think he went a bit slow through 16, which will, well, it will cause. You need to be going through 16 to give you the push through the rest of this last bit. So it's not
Absolutely.
ideal. Who else could we go on board with? Is it going to be TTM Alson has done his lap, so it's going to be. I think Treat is on a lap, and so is possibly Andrea. Which one away is going to be Treat first? What can the Mercedes driver do? There's a lot of pressure now. It is the final runs.
Yeah, he is 2/10 down on his first sector though, Gareth. He's got some time to make up here. If he wants to improve on his current P8, he could drop down. Obviously from there through the car section. He's hit the wall on the right side. Is that damage to the end plate? I don't think it is. Luckily, he got away with that one, but we'll see what his time is coming through towards the end of Sector 2. Now flying around his long left hand into the heavy braking zone, downhill into 15 here. A little bit cautious, you could argue, through there, but he makes it through without hitting the wall as he comes into the final sector here, and he's again still slower than his current lap. Can he put his head down now and try and improve on that lap time? Then we'll have to wait and see. He's got more yellow flags, and there's just people retiring in the pits there. But Treat, I don't think he's going to improve on this 8th place, Gareth.
Yeah, I think this is done. I think he possibly, he's going to finish the lap, but I don't think it's going to be enough to increase his lap time unless something was. Oh, it was slightly up. It was slightly up, but not enough to put him any higher up. PGR Andrea goes into 6th place for the time being. Bourbon Boy, I think, he had to do a second run lap. Or outlap, I should say, to make sure he's had the opportunity to do something tonight. And fire around the final 2 kinks and down the start-finish straight for the final time in qualifying. Bourbon Boy, the DRS wing opens up and across the line. Where is it going to be? It's a much better lap time, but it's only managing. Oh no, sorry, it's much better lap time. It's P6. Who else have we got? We've got, I think, Tex Brutal is next. To come down the start-finish straight. I don't think he's going to improve from the looks of the timing screen there.
Yeah, well, after Williams, you did see someone come into the pits there. Could have been one of the Red Bulls, but he crosses the line. It's just ever so slightly slower, the kick driver there.
I'm just trying to find where else. I've missed Mulder going across the line. Samuel, surely you could improve this time around. And he's got an improvement enough to put himself back into 8th place, possibly 7th, the way things are going. Across the line for NVR Samuel, it is into P6. That was an incredible last sector for the McLaren driver. The 2 AMS drivers now across the line. Rambo doesn't go quicker, but Partek does. Partek throws himself up 2 places, and that is qualifying over and done with. And, wow, I don't want to say not what we expected, but... yeah, there we have it. I'll just quickly run down the order, Ollie. So it's Alcin on pole with Raptor in 2nd place. On the 2nd row of the grid, you've got Tex Brutal and Shazoo Venom with JTO40 in 5th and 6th to NVR Samuel Mulder in 7th and 8th to Bourbon Boy, 9th to PGR Andrea, and Bobberts rounding out the top 10. We barely spoke about Bobberts tonight. In 11th is Treat, Partek in 12th, 13th to Liam Hardman, 14th XPG Flame, and Rambo rounding out the people who are able to set a lap time. Dettel wasn't able to, and Quantum and Finn Bob were the drivers that had qualifying bans for their team last time out. Yeah, pretty solid qualifying session. Though CRE Dettel really... That's going to be talked about for a little while, isn't it? Making a mistake at the castle section.
Yeah, especially when Siri are second in the standings, Gareth. That could cost them a huge amount of points. this season. Whether it'll cost them the title at the end of the season, and I'm sure we can debate that till the cows come home, really, couldn't we? But he's got a lot of work to do. He's at the back. Obviously, a few drivers having bans, so that's something to contend with as well. But I know there is a long straight, 2 long straights out of the circuit, Gath, but it's still difficult to overtake here. You look how tight and twisty that middle sector is. Single file for a lot of that middle part of the circuit. It's going to be difficult for those trying to get through. But safety cars are prone at this circuit, so there's every chance they can work their way through, and maybe even some rain in this race as well.
Yeah. But there's always that possibility as well. So we are. So please bear with us while we have a lobby restart, just to make sure everything goes through cleanly. As some entertaining stuff going on. I've just seen some cars flying. Max Verstappen, Danny Ricciardo-esque into turn. Well, not even into turn 1. Sometimes I think we should just leave that on just for the fun of it. That is really weird. But let's have a look at the standings again. And like you quite rightly mentioned, CRE second place. I believe they've only got 1 driver here tonight as well. So Dettel not doing his team any favours with that at all. And the BRT driver, the BRT team, again, not the best thing up there, because 1 driver having that qualifying. But yes, it's a street circuit and it's open and you can drive, but it's still that street circuit where, if you get in the slipstream, sometimes you just get in a DRS train.
Yeah, we've seen it in the past where there's a couple of cars involved and there could be a slower car, especially in this middle section of the circuit, Gareth, where it's so difficult to overtake. Yes, you can get your nose in, but if you do it at the wrong time, that's a front wing gone. It is difficult, and we do get those trains happening. If someone's got a good setup, good straight line speed setup, it is difficult to overtake even with the DRS. So it's something the guys are going to have to consider in this race, that they maybe pit early to try and avoid any queues, or try a different strategy, maybe start on the harder compound tyre and wait to the end to put their foot down. There's a number of different strategies, but also, like we've already said, safety cars, weather, even the VSCs can affect all of this. So, like I said, I'm glad I don't race anymore, and I'm in the comms box, because something I don't have to talk about that, and something I don't have to think about anymore. I can just talk about it instead.
Yeah, it's definitely something we could talk about. But there is plenty of issues, I suppose, with this one, where we've touched on safety cars. You know what, are we going to see one here tonight? It's a possibility, isn't it? There's because it's a street track, and we've seen in the castle section, all it takes is one mistake, and poor Dettel thinks we're going to be picking on him with this one, but it's a problem. We saw in qualifying, not to pick on Dettel again, but that's where if it's going to happen, it'll happen most likely through there. If not through there, we've seen cars go deep into turn 2 and turn 3, with a DRS zone, especially at turn 3, and countless times people have broken themselves or try to go 2, even 3 abreast, sometimes trying to get through there. And three cars do not go into turn 3 in any sort of equation. So hopefully they'll all get through nice and clean, and we don't get any damage at all in this. Apologies, my mother walked in on at least it wasn't your mother walking in on an OnlyFans.
That's very.
I'm not sure if I can say that on stream anyway, but let's move on swiftly. I tell you what, I think now is a good time to just run the grid finder ad, and we'll be back in a short moment while the grid is getting set up. There we go. Thank you for that, guys. We are now just getting back into the lobby, so please bear with us while these drivers get just the final adjustments to this one, and we will see if it's raining or not. That is also another idea for this one. Probably, if it's dry, we'll see a medium to hard race, or hard to medium, where you're looking lap 8, 9 for pits on the medium. I've done my homework this week, Ollie. How are you impressed?
As always, I'm always impressed by Karen.
We're probably at 26 laps, so it is absolutely hooning it down with rain on
Are they
the
wheels
street.
rather than Baku, guys? Because that looks like right outside right now.
I will actually just show how bad it is. Look at that. That is horrendously torrential rain for these guys to absolutely work with tonight. I'm just going to see if there is I'm just seeing if people are gonna, if there's complaints or anything, or whether it is just going straight through and racing with this. And well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Absolutely full wets here, it looks like. So my plan of saying, medium to hard, that'll be the strategy to go for tonight. It's out the window, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I think there's a safety car increase by about 60%.
Yeah, I'd argue that, and I'd argue that's most likely going to happen within the first 3 laps, maybe, Gareth. With these guys, I'm sure they had practice in the rain, but Baku, where it's located within Europe, it's on the drier side, where it's positioned within Europe. So yeah, I don't think I've ever seen not very many wet races at Baku, especially torrential rain like it is in this race here. It's going to be, especially with those long straights, trying and breaking into those 90-degree corners. It's not easy, especially castle in the rain. No, thank you. So it's going to have to not reset as such, but they're going to have to really think about some of these corners coming through now. And not only that, they've got another 19 other drivers on the circuit at the same time. So it's going to be a tricky one for the drivers. I'm glad I'm in the box. I really, really am. So I'm sure they'll just figure out the setups a little bit now, Gareth, and changing strategies potentially. Whether it gets dry later on in the race, we'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be an interesting one, to say the least.
Definitely, and we've got some fast drivers, Quantum and Finbob. Finbob. I can't remember. I can't believe I've forgotten his name. We've got some fast drivers at the back of the grid, so it's got, they're going to want to push through. Understandable. It's going to be interesting, and Flame unfortunately doesn't know the braking points, so in the rain, so that's going to be even. I suppose he wouldn't, would he? Flame, rain don't go well together. This is going to be tight. Chat, let us know who you think is going to take victory here tonight. Alston's on pole at the moment, but with the wet weather, is it still going to be TTM, or is it going to be any of the other drivers? Hopefully, we'll get the lobby done and ready in a minute. We're just waiting. The ready up button has been hit, done and dusted. And Michael Cook didn't really particularly like my joke. I don't think that joke of the century. Yeah, pretty much. But that's what you're here for. So, Ollie, who do you think is going to take victory out of this? You could go team or drive away. I don't particularly mind.
If it was dry, I could probably give you an answer, but I don't know if I can. In the wet, it's so unpredictable. I haven't seen these drivers drive in the rain yet, but I'll go with pole sitter.
We better get over to it. Pole sitter is your man, but let's see how it handles it in the rain as they head on down into turn 1. I don't think Supply Raptors had a very good start, because Tex Brutal is trying to go around the outside into turn 1. At the moment, it looks like he's got the grip, he's got the ability, and he's there into second place from turn 1. This positioning changes throughout, but the rain is making it so difficult to see who's where. And I think TTM Elson has made a mistake out of turn 2 as they head into the second straight into turn 3. No DRS, of course, because it's absolutely peeing it down, and there's an incident between Tex Brutal. That's 2 cars out, surely, of this Grand Prix, and A VSC is finally called for that. I was expecting something along those lines, but intermediate tyres are on. 10 seconds for Partick for ignoring yellow flags. Goodness me, Ollie, that is an absolute incredible start. I think it's got to go to a a full safety car, isn't it?
It looks like there's a safety car coming out of the pits, Gareth, so it could be, unless that's a glitch of some sort. But coming into turn 3 there, Gareth, it was just a domino effect. It looked like Tech Brutal went into the back of the Williams, or someone went into the back of him, and just, like I said, domino effect into turn 3. And unfortunately, Ilson without a front wing now, and he's at the back of the grid. It's so difficult to see. We could barely see, and we've got the heli cam, and we can see them properly. So God knows how they all managed to get through pretty much unscathed, other than Ilson. They've all looked like they've got, well, at least part of the front wing on their cars. But yeah, that was a bit of a hectic start, as we predicted, didn't we, Gareth?
Definitely, and the wet just made it that little bit worse, hasn't it? Tex Brutal has no front wing at all. That car looks like it's about to skyrocket. He can barely make some of these corners, which is not ideal. He's probably glad it is a virtual safety car, but there is a mix. There's a mix of wets and inters here tonight, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting this to be full wet, which a lot of the drivers have gone for, but there were a few that risked some, and into the pits there is a gaggle of cars coming into the pits for this, so maybe a change in strategy, but it is changing everything up. Finn Bob is up into 5th place. What a game from him. And Detol up into 7th after the brutal way we've been treating him through the pre-race show after his castle section incident in qualifying, but he's managed to come through all fine at the moment. But I wonder how these pit stops are going to go, and whether people will go for full wets or intermediates. We'll have to wait and see. Tex has decided to stay on inters. Quantum and Brambo have decided to stay on wets. It's quite an interesting setup that there's going on right now.
Yeah, some have gone on to wets, some have gone on to inters. It's a mixed bag. The game said wets for the whole Grand Prix, one stop. But it's like I said, it's a mixed bag. Maybe is that why we had an incident at the start as Flame has driven into the wall at turn 4, and he's lost a heap of positions there. I don't know if he's going to damage that front wing, but he's lost 3 or 4 positions there by just unfortunately cold tyres coming out of the pits. So back to the incident. I don't know whether, because obviously those cars in the inters can't displace the water as well as the full wet drivers. Could that be why they all had just that concertina crash at turn 3? I don't know. There's and also braking, trying to figure it out in the wet is difficult enough in the dry, let alone the wet. So, but they're all still in the race, which is great to see. No retirements just yet. Just waiting for the cars to hopefully queue up. I think we'll have one more lap behind the safety car, and then we'll get racing. But like you mentioned, Gareth, winners and losers on that first couple of laps is obviously Finn Bob up 13 and Detol up 9. So both drivers doing well off the start, keeping the nose clean and managing to stay in this race early doors.
Flame just stayed on board with it. He's really struggling to keep the car. He has got front wing damage there, and you do wonder if it's worth being on the inters. It just doesn't seem like it's got the full grip capability. But into the pits, surely the Ferrari man will go, and he does indeed. The XPG man into the pits. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he decides to change to wets. Quantum is still on the wet tyres. Is it a set of green? It looks like another set of green wall tyres for the Ferrari driver or the XPG driver, as PJ Andrea will catch up now as well. So, there's enough to enough drivers on the wets for me to make not to make an informed decision here. I don't know. There's obviously the intermediate tyres are where it's strong, but I think maybe these wet drivers, wet tyre drivers, are going to pull away from this.
I think that's what that'll be, Gareth. When the restart happens, if the wet drivers start to pull away, obviously we know the conditions are still suited to that. You can see on the cameras it is still, but when you're on board with the driver, it's a downpour. Whether that improves in the next lap or two, hence why there's so many inter drivers thinking they'll save time by staying on the inters and holding out until the weather decreases or the intensity decreases. I don't know. It's a fine balance, isn't it? They'll all be in the same boat. Quantum may be the one doing the overtaking in that bid pack while the top four run away, but we just don't know. Well, unfortunately, we haven't got the luxury of seeing the weather. I don't think, unless there's something in the options that I can check. But it's something to think about. Just waiting on a couple of cars to get back of the safety car queue. But I don't know whether it's going to come in yet. The light's still flashing so soon. It's staying out for one more lap, Gareth.
Probably one more lap. But the interesting thing through this, I've just got on board with JT, and he has no front left end plate, I think, or is that the right? Yeah, that's the left side. So, but he's deciding to risk it staying out, which to me indicates that surely the wets are the tyre to be on. But his teammate TTM. His TTM teammate, I should say, is on a set of intermediates. Our teams just deciding, or some teams, I should say, deciding to go down the middle and go one way, one or the other. But you see both Shizou drivers in the Red Bull, both on wets. It's really a very interesting mind game at this point, I think. As I think we are just waiting for the PGR driver of Andrea to get to the back of it, and we should get racing again. You said for 3 laps for a safety car. We had a safety car on that one.
Yeah. Again, not surprised in the rain, and I saw that instant. Right, yep, that's going to be a safety car with the amount of cars that were just crashing at the back of each other. Unfortunately. It's difficult, it's difficult, like I already said, it's difficult enough in the dry coming into turn 3, let alone the rain. So, I mean, kudos to all 18 drivers still on the circuit. No one has retired, which is great to see. But this race is difficult, and we haven't even raced yet, Gareth. It has been 3 corners and then a safety car. So, plenty more action, hopefully, in this race, and we can see some racing. Whether the rain decreases and we'll maybe even, I don't think it'll dry. It looks still pretty overcast in this race at the moment.
I mean, if
hopefully, gone.
I was going to say if it dries up, that would be a miracle in itself, I think. So just having a look at a few different drivers, see if there is any other front wing damage that we've got through the grid. As Mulder is down in 12th place, he probably won't be too happy with that start. But towards the front, I guess, I know it's saying it's a virtual safety car on my screen, so apologies. It isn't a virtual safety car, it is a full safety car, and the safety car should be coming in this lap, and is the confirmation of said safety car coming in. So slow now for Venom. He is now the de facto safety car through, well, until the finish line, I should say. And if I was Venom, I would leave it quite late before pulling the trigger, because you don't want to get caught out. But by doing so, it's still going to be bunched up when you go into turn 1, and we could get another incident like we just had on lap 1.
Exactly. He's got. I agree, guy. I think he should leave it as late as he can. He looks like he's going to go front on board with Samuel, and off he goes, I think, Gareth. And we'll get this race going once again to begin lap number 5.
Here we go then. What can be done? Bobbitt's is all over the back of JT as they head down this. There's going to be lots of drivers going for it, but I think Bobbitt's is the only one at the moment able to do so. Bourbon Boy side by side with Detto. Don't forget, Dettel hadn't pitted and Ball Boy had. Tex Brutal's trying to get through. There goes Finn Bob as well with JT. That's very tight into turn 2. It's very tight for a few of them into turn 2. But at that moment, Venom still leads the way. Finn Bob has, he hasn't really done much since overtaking JT. I know it's only just a few moments ago, as I think Ball Boy tries to have a look at the treat as well. But so much going on, I'm not sure how it will pan out. But at the moment, I think the wet runners are the tyres to be on right now.
I think so already. Finn Bob a second down on Bobbert. I appreciate there was an overtake coming through the first couple of corners from him, but like I said, I think that the wet tyres are the tyres to be on. The only thing that might not help them is them racing against each other and slowing each other down, which will allow Finn Bob to catch up.
I don't know whether Shazoo will want to race hard with MVR or not, but Shazoo Venom's got the pace to pull away a little bit. It's Bobbitt's that's trying to attack Samuel, which could help Venom. This could be a backup job from Bobbitt's. Get Venom the points, but he'll do as much as he can to put off the MVR driver. Finn Bob is slowly catching up. I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like the rain is not as heavy as it was 2 laps ago.
It does look like that ever so slightly. Yeah, you're right, Gareth. But we'll have to wait and see. If Finn Bob starts to catch these guys, that could be an indication of that. But Bobbitt's going around the outside, or the inter technically, coming down to turn 1. They're going to catch the leader at this rate. Could they be 3 abreast coming into turn 1? No. Great job for Bobbitt's boxing the McLaren out. He's actually hit the back of his teammate there. Oh my word, that was almost Ricardo Verstappen moment there coming to turn 1. Luckily they both make it through, and that's Bob's up in the second now, and allowed Finn Bob to catch up with that instant there. But great work by Bobbitt's, blocking him out, pushing him wide, and that's now Shazoo 1-2.
I had deja vu of 2016, I believe it was then. I just thought the 2 Red Bulls, the 2 Shazoo drivers, had taken them out. It didn't help that MVR Samuel had outbroke himself as well, but Finn Bob is all over the back of MVR Samuel, so I think there is a little bit of a change of, I don't want to say pressure or tyre pressure or whatever. The weather is possibly the best thing for it, as the Inters are possibly the better tyre to be on. Bobbitt's struggling into turn 7 through the castle section. This is going to be very, very tight, and Finn Bob nearly collects the wall.
He does. He's really pushing hard now, isn't he? On the back of the McLaren, he just can't get through at this portion of this part of the circuit. Down the hill they go towards 15. I can't imagine he'll be late on the brakes here, trying to get past him here. Wait till he's on the straight. But Bobbitt is all over the place ahead of both these cars. He's struggling through the middle sector, and this could allow both Samuel and Finn Bob pass. He's out of the slipstream of his teammate up ahead, and he could be a sitting duck here coming into turn 1, Gareth.
See how it all pan out. Venom still leading this Grand Prix by 1.3 seconds. We had a safety car on lap 1, which is the main reason why everything is so close together, even though we had a major incident. As they head on down, they are sticking with the wets for the time being, as defensive into turn 1 goes Samuel, and he has to lose the position to Finn Bob in the end. Tex Brutal and Bourbon Boy, are battling away for P6 at the moment. Shazoo Venom is pulling away slightly from his teammate, but this could be a little bit of a ploy from Bobbitt's just to stop the BRT driver of Finn Bob through all this. Real defensive work there from Bobbitt's, trying to hold up Finn Bob. It's still a Shazoo 1-2 at the moment.
You can see Finn Bob going left and right, trying to get through. He puts his foot down on the exit, coming through turn 4. Can he go around the outside of 5? He's going to try his best. Bit of wheel banging there. He still has the inside for the next corner. And that is a pass by Finn Bob. Great move. We never see moves through there, guys. Side-by-side action. And he is through up into second now. I don't think Bobbitt's got anything to reply with. And what will be really interesting now is the rain definitely decreased on our screens. How far he can pull away from Bobbitt's here, and whether he catches Venom up in the lead. 1.8 splits first and second.
And the chase is on for Finbob. He sees the lead in his sights. He's already... Look how much he's pulled away from Boberts. Surely this is pit stop territory now for Venom, Boberts, Samuel, Quantum and JT. They surely have to be thinking about it. Finbob has flown off. The only saving grace is that the mediums, the inters that Finbob are on are going to struggle towards the end of the Grand Prix, and Shazoo Venom might be able to come back into it that way. But lap 27 and 26, Finbob is flying, and he's so far ahead of the other intermediate of Treat back in 5th place that he's got some overtaking to do. Finbob hasn't caught Venom yet, but just behind, Samuel and Bobbert swapping position. Finbob is fastest man on the track. Take that back. It's Tex Brutal now.
Yeah, like you said, I think the Inters are coming into play now, and luckily for Finbob, his teammate isn't that far behind in the standings as well. There's only 2 points splitting BRT and Shazoo, so it's really up for the contest for P4 and P5 in the standings. But look at the flurry in the midfield pack out. There's cars. You can't split them here coming into turn 3. Great racing so far on lap 8 of 26. It's really starting. The heat has been turned up, I think, here in Baku.
Definitely is. The heat is on, as a Beverly Hills Cop song, if you know that film, is definitely on. But Inter's fighting away. Inter drivers, are fighting away. Bourbon Boy and Sierra Detol fighting away. And this is where it's going to be crucial for Finbob to get to the back of Venom, which he has done, because the Inters are so much quicker through the tight and twisty part of the castle section and everywhere else that he's managing to pull away or pull into Venom, and it's just the straights where he has problems. I think this is problematic for the wets.
Yeah, no, I was about to say the same thing. I think this is where they're struggling. Unless the rain comes back, Shazoo Venom is going to struggle here. Unfortunately for Finbob, he hasn't got the DRS to help and for his advantage as well. But he should get him here unless Venom can just hold him off for now. And unfortunately for Bobbert, he's nowhere near. He can't help his teammates as they come onto the pit straight.
Let's see how it will pan out. It's got to stay with the leaders. I see Treat in the background as with Tex Brutal fighting away, but to the inside, down the start-finish straight goes Finbob. He takes the lead of the Grand Prix. There's nothing he can do about it. And in the background, Bobberts decides to throw it in. He's now going in the pits. He's got a lot of work to do. The back end of Finbob slaps out a little bit, which allows Venom to have a little look, but it's not much there in it, as Tex Brutal and Treat don't get past Samuel, which could be crucial for them catching Finbob later on.
Yeah, but Treat is absolutely flying coming down the second straight. He's got to run the outside of the McLaren, though, and the McLaren's pushing as wide as he possibly can, but he's hanging his car to the outside. They have the inside for turn 4, brakes as late as he possibly can. There's a little bit of contact there between both the drivers, but still side-by-side action as they come through towards turn 5. You'll have the longer route to go around this corner as he goes a tight turn 6, and the Mercedes is through. Can Samuel do the switchback? I think he can. The wet tyre driver's got the inside as they come into the castle section here. Just about holds the lead of this battle before P3 and through he goes. Great racing from both of them. And Gareth, those wet tyres aren't done just yet.
That is some incredible racing from Samuel. He's done a very, very good job of holding these guys up, whether he meant to or not. But he is 3.3 seconds behind Venom now. And Treat will be kicking himself for not getting past, because he's going to have Tex Brutal absolutely all over him. Look at them hop over the curb there at turn 15. A lot of pressure still on Samuel as Bobberts is catching slowly to Rambo just in the background of all the battles going on. Finbob 1.3 seconds in front of Venom within a lap. That is the crucial bit. But Treat struggled a little bit through turn 19 there, and I think it's given Tex Brutal a little bit of impetus as they come down the start-finish straight.
Watch out for Detol, Gareth. He's going to get all 3 of them. He's switched it through onto the outside, and that is Detol taking 3 places on the pit straight. Through he goes and up into 2nd place.
Oh my goodness, Detol, what a move by him, literally out of nowhere, and he's managed to get up a huge amount of positions. But look at that, 4.3 seconds is the gap between them and Finbob. Finbob can relax a little bit. He's also got Text, his teammate, causing absolute havoc. Xpg has retired, and oh, there we go. Another safety car here because of Flame in the wall. I think he's also in there with Venom, possibly, which is not ideal. Let's have a look at the situation. Is there any damage to him or his teammate? Alcin speeding drive-through penalty. That's not ideal. Maybe there isn't damage. Maybe they just got caught behind at the exit of turn 1 there. Turn 2, sorry. But Flame is out of this Grand Prix. That is frustrating for him. But does Finbob, do these guys that have already pitted on the Inters pit again?
Good question. Fresh Inters with, what would that be? 15 and a half laps to go. Could do. It looks, the rain is still obviously in on those intermediate tyre, probably. Yeah, I mean, I would. It's a fresh set of tyres. It's almost a free pit stop. The gap towards Bobbers and Venom is probably big enough, Gareth, for a pit stop. Quantum's probably in a good position here because the other guys obviously pitted under race conditions, while Quantum will have to pit under safety car conditions, so he might jump a couple of drivers here. But it depends if you want track position, Gareth. But again, at the same time, you lose all that time because you're behind the safety car. So we'll see what Finbob does here.
Lap 10 of 26. We've got our second safety car here tonight in SCC. As there goes Finbob. I'm pretty sure everyone 1st to 7th, if everyone pits down to Bobberts, everyone in 1st to 7th will finish. Will come out ahead of Bobberts. That's my thought. But there's a few drivers that are deciding not to go in. I mean, the safety car will elongate the tyre life, so that's part of the reason why they'll stick out. Finbob out of the pits now. I think there was a front wing change to Finbob as well. He's come out just ahead of Bobberts. Bobberts and Shazoo Venom through now on the same tyre for the first time in this race, since the first safety car, I believe, anyway. But there we have it. Finbob in 5th, and possibly, you could say, the net leader of this Grand Prix.
Could well be. Yeah, I think that's probably the case. Just looking at the teammates, Gareth, obviously Finbob and Tex Brutal. Maybe Tex Brutal didn't want to get held up in the pit because he was quite close to his teammate. Maybe why he didn't pit. But the problem is, Supply Raptor and Andrea, they're obviously the same team, and neither are pitted here. So, interesting strategy from the PGR team. I'm not sure whether that may have been the best strategy, unless, like you mentioned, they don't want to pit and they want to go to the end of the race, maybe. And obviously, Detol's got now grid position, or maybe just want us to talk about him in comms. Maybe that's why. But obviously, he might struggle near the end with the life on his tyres compared to some of the newer pitters recently, because everyone has pitted recently, other than the top 4. So I think there's a couple of strategies in play, or maybe Gareth, they think there's going to be another safety car in this race. Possibly.
And what's I mean, looking at it, I don't understand. If you were trying to do something different, why you look at FRT? Both their drivers decided not to pit. If you were going to do something different, you do it with one driver, not both. It's very interesting from them. I am going to come up with a drinking game for CSS. Every time I say SCC, you have to do a shot. How about that?
I don't think it would end the night very well, Gareth.
No.
Comms would be very, very messy, I think.
Anyway, we are still racing away here. Thank you guys for sticking around with the landscape completely changed yet again here at Baku round 4. Let us know who you think is going to take victory. It could literally be anyone, I think, at this moment in time. Ollie, any advances?
Who's going to win this race?
Yes.
Oh, well, my original prediction is now currently in 17th, so I think I've got some little curse on me. I don't think I'll do it next week. I didn't do it the first week I was here, so maybe. Sorry, I was down in 17th. I think it's anyone's race. What will be interesting now is the fact that the Shazoo drivers are on the same tyre compound as the BRT team. Apologies, I did say the RB team as PGR. That is not the case. That is I've got that wrong.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
FRT for the
apologies.
RB.
Sorry,
it's
yeah,
all right.
still getting...
They need to get their team names into their name. It's fine.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I could again predict it just yet, Gareth. It's still, we're not even halfway yet. That's how nuts this race has been so far. It could not. Maybe it couldn't be anyone, but I think either of the Shazoo driver could get it. I think it's anyone down from who have pitted recently. You could argue that could get it. Obviously, Samuel down in 11th now. Maybe a front wing change during his pit stops like that, so he dropped it down. But he was looking quick. So it's like I've said, it could be anyone's game, and could see another safety car. I don't think he's going to dry up, but it could get worse. We don't know just yet.
We will have to wait and see. Dettel's got a lot of loves. The safety car is in. Let's see what Dettel does, in whether he waits or whether he goes early like Venom did. Bobbits is the Shazoo driver ahead, and you wonder if Bobbits will allow Venom through from a team perspective, being on the... okay, it's only 1 lap older, but 1 lap older tyres still might mean something at some point. Let's have a look from a Tex Brutal point of view. When does he decide to go? He can't do a Max Verstappen and go up alongside someone. But we'll have to wait and see, as very, very slowly around turn number 19 and 20 to go. And there goes Dettel. The rain looks less and less now as well, but Tex has been left behind a little bit. The two Racing Bull cars getting into a little bit of a battle with Finn Bob as well. Finn Bob with those fresher tyres going around the outside of turn 1. Surely he's not been able to complete the move on Andrea. They are battling away, and I think that is going to allow Bobbits to have a little go as well. They're going to go 3 wide as they head on down into turn 3. Bobbits is going to have a difficulty getting into the corner properly, but I think he's got the move done, you know.
Great move by Bobbits there. Capitalise on the contact between Andrea and Finbob. Finbob's got damage to the front right end plate, Gareth. The contact coming through turn 2 has cost him, and now it's Venom around the outside of him as well. Finbob, his race might be over, Gareth.
He has tried a switchback though on Shazoo Venom as they head into turn 7, but I don't think he's capable of it, unfortunately for him. But Andrea struggling away, and there's more contact with Andrea and Shazoo Venom, and that is big at turn 7 there, and that is Finbob and Shazoo Venom with major damage, I think, now. And maybe a virtual safety car. Is that possibly... oh, that virtual safety car could be because of AMS Rambo at turn 6. It's all kicking off.
Yeah, Rambo doing donuts, it looks like, on circuit, trying to get some screen time. But Finbob, I think he got frustrated after the contact with Andrea. He cut the corner through turn 7, and it was sort of a... not 3 into 1, but it just tyres got caught together, and Venom into the wall, followed by Andrea, and then we saw a heap of cars going into the back of each other there, unfortunately. Yeah, disappointing to see contact there, but the virtual safety car's finished already, and we're back into racing conditions.
Lots of driver with front wing damage as well. Bubble Boy, one of them, he's popping into the pits, as is Quantum. Surprisingly, out of all this, I don't think Venom's got major damage on his front wing. I think it might be only slight. It'll be enough to affect him. But Finbob and Treat Ahead got damage, and Tex Brutal takes the lead of the Grand Prix out of all this as well. Heading down into turn 3. Tex has had a great run, but Dettel's trying to go back around the outside through turn 3. Surely that is going to be clean sailing, and Dettel struggling with grip, having to go behind for the time being.
I think Dettel might have some brown underwear there, Gareth. He was so close to hitting the wall on the exit of 3 as they're both drifting around 5 and 6, struggling to get the grip with these tyres. Still cold, I think, after the virtual safety car restart, but they've got a big old gap now to the top 3. At least got to Bobbett's down in 4th, still struggling to get moving once again after the VSC, but they've all spaced out a little bit, the top 4, and then you got a gaggle of cars behind Finbob, it looks like, coming through this middle sector.
So Finbob and Venom have got past Treat as they head through Sector 2, the middle part of Sector 2, through 12 to 15. It's just one continuous left, really, as Shazoo Venom trying to hunt down Finbob, as Shazoo have a real good chance of some good points tonight with everything that is going on. Bobbett's up into 4th place, trying to catch. You know what? I don't think I've ever uttered these words in a long, long time, I should say. But Bobbett's in a great opportunity to win this race. Lap 14 of 26, and we've had 2 safety cars, a virtual safety car, and a lot of action. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, great racing. As Tex Bootle takes it straight back, Bobbers takes that off Tex Bootle. But the top 2 side by side, Gareth, coming through turn 1 and 2. Tex Bootle just about holds the lead there, but keep an eye on Dettel as they come through turn 2 here. Both hop the curb as they come down now towards turn 3. Raptor not close enough. Bobbers close as well, but I don't think Dettel's going to be close enough to make a move on the leader coming through here. But like you mentioned, Gareth, Bobbers in a great position here. Fresh tyres, closing the gap quickly to Supply Raptor here in 3rd. Whether he can do it, still a long way to go in this race.
This is a definite cauldron. What is it? Wet rain. Oh, wet. It's obviously wet rain, isn't it? It's rain. Wet weather, front wing damage, street track. My goodness, it's had it all, really, isn't it? This is exactly the kind of action you want. Maybe not some of the incidents we've had involved, but Dettel trying to make up for his qualifying misdemeanors is currently in 2nd place, with Tex Brutal leading the Grand Prix for BRT. Bobbitts has got 5 seconds over his teammate, who is catching in 5th place, but they are the biggest scoring teams bar BRT, which is Tex Brutal and Finbob. It's still a lot to play for with 12 laps remaining.
Yeah, plenty of time to go in this race. So, and we've seen how quickly it's changed already. In just over halfway through this race, more yellow flags, and I think that's one of the. I'm not sure who that is, but Bobbert flies around the outside of Supply Raptor coming through before they even get to the main part of the straight. But that is Bobbert on those fresh tyres, moving up to P3, Gareth, and now is Dettel, the next man on his hit list.
And just behind them, Finbob dropping down the order a little bit as AMS Partick for, well, the AMS team is up into 6th place. It's a good point score for AMS, possibly again. JT, we haven't spoken about him very often in this race after the lap 1 incident is, or well, I say the lap 1 incident, after lap 1 whatever, is now up into 11th place, all over the back of Mulder. Alcin up, well, his drive-through penalty has put him in 12th place. He's 15 seconds off, but he's ahead of other drivers that have had to pit because of damage. Back to Bobberts, and Bobberts is already all over the back of Dettel and ready to go on and make a move, probably sooner rather than later. But Bobberts, this has got to be pressure. Well, this is pressure time for him because he's got a chance of winning this Grand Prix.
Yeah, he's got to time his moves right. He knows his car is quicker. He's got better tyres on that car as well. You can just sit there, wait till he gets on the straight and fly past these drivers, not needing to risk overtaking through some of the tighter parts of the circuit. Just wait for the opportunity to go. There's no need to push it. He knows his car's quicker. His tyres will get to the end of the race. Obviously, the top two's tyres will get to the end of the race as well, but they're wearing quicker at them this moment in time in the race. They've got less battery as well than Bobberts here as they come on to the pit straight once again, and this could be from 3rd to 2nd for Bobberts.
See what he can do. It's a lovely helicopter camera angle at the moment. There's contact into the wall. Dettel is out of this Grand Prix and a virtual safety car again, and that is so unlucky for Detto. He's just gone a little bit too much. I think it's a pit stop for Tex Brutal. He's taking a cheap pit stop. I don't blame him at all. Raptor's going to do the same. Venom, are you going to do the same? Venom is going to do the same. This is interesting. Does Finbob decide to do the same? Finbob stays out. Bobberts leads this Grand Prix, and that virtual safety car has made things very, very interesting.
I'm not sure how that isn't a full safety car. That car was stricken across the race circuit there, and I think a combination of the rain as you get back underway green flag racing and worn tyres just drifted too wide coming out of turn 19, and that's all out of this Grand Prix, unfortunately.
I think
Gone.
I think it was a mistake going into the pits for some of those guys. Look at Bobbert's 8.5 second lead. Finbob is struggling with that front wing damage. Dettel is going to be absolutely fuming. He's driving such a good race as well. Treat is in there as well. Look, Supply Raptor, Tex Brutal, and Shizou Venom there. Unless Venom had damage, I'm not 100% sure. But they're in 8th. And how far away from the leaders are they? Tex Brutal's 15 seconds, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a long way, and even on fresh tyres, can you close that quickly in this race? I'm not sure. When you could argue Bobbers' tyres are still in half good nick, really. They weren't as bad as Detto's tyres coming into the incident. So I think Bobbers might be in good shape here, guys. This for Bobbers now is a qualifying session or even a practice. Just keep that car on the road, and he should be okay to hold the lead here. But you never know. Could be another safety car in this race. We've seen enough already. One more wouldn't be a miss.
We've had so much action in this race. We've had so much action at Baku within the competitive speed series event at Baku from all of it. So it's plenty more I'm sure is going to happen. Finbob still leading the last podium position as Liam Hardman and Mulder swapping places. Mulder up into 5th place, and all of a sudden we said about Finbob having BRT having the a stranglehold on the major amount of points, and then Shizou winning this race, but their other driver is down in 10th place, and it's not ideal. Still plenty of action going on, and the Mercedes duo of you know what, I can't remember, it's FGE, still battling away strong.
Yeah, well, Gareth, if you look at the standings, FGE have got 2 points so far in this championship. This could transform their season here if they can hold these cars in place. Finbob's got damage on that car. You know, you're talking a podium here potentially for that team, and that'll change their season round in an instant. So this is huge news if they can hold their positions right here in this race.
Let's come on, chat. Let us know who you think is going to take the points this the points this season. This race. But FGE are in a great position right now. Ollie, it's your second race as well, but this is FGE's second race as well. They were a stand-in, so you've known them there all along because you've been there as long as they have. So it's okay. It's okay. But they're fighting away as they're heading through turn 18 and 19. Finbob's pulling away a little bit. He's managed to find a way of handling the damage he's got as Mulder then overtakes his teammate as they head down the start-finish straight.
Watch out for Liam Hardman in the background there, Gareth. He could... there's a bit of contact there in the back of Treat. I don't think it was enough to cause any damage, but Liam could be up the inside coming into turn 2 here, late on the brakes as far as he dares contact with the Mercedes then as damage to Treat, unless that was damage from earlier potentially, but that's... I shouldn't have even spoken about FGE, guys, because now I'm causing them a bit of difficulty. But Treat trying to go back down the inside of. Oh, there's more contact coming into turn 3. Luckily, all 4 wheels still on that car, but that is Treat losing another position into the wall again on the outside. Tech Brutal trying to go up the inside of Treat there. He's going to have to go around the outside this time around. Can he hold his car there? Just about squeezing through. They have the inside for the next part of the corner. Can he get the power down quick enough? Yes, he can. And that is Treat going from 5th down to 8th within about 4 or 5 corners, Gareth. Not great from him, and unfortunately for Treat, Supply Raptors on his gearbox as well.
Yeah, this is not unfortunate. Well, this is not unfortunate. This is very unfortunate for Treat. I think the poll should have said, can FG get a double point scoring position? That might have been a little bit more realistic with Treat's current demise at the moment. Quantum there in 11th place, 11 seconds behind everyone. That's interesting. But Bobberts is doing a fantastic job of, if not moving a little bit further forward, as Tex Brutal going up the inside of JTO, getting there up there, and doing a good job still through that. And yeah, it is the top 15 that gets points here, but if anything goes wrong, like a further wing plate damage is what I was alluding to, as Tex Brutal and JT still battling away. JT's got a massive amount of overspeed. He's going for Hardman as well. That is an incredible amount of speed from JT.
JT put the afterburners on there, Gareth, flying down the pit straight. And Tech Brutal should have waited, Gareth. He didn't need to overtake him coming through turn 16 then. Now there's a car between himself and JT. Great speed from JT, and now he's up into P5. Tech Brutal gets Liam back though, side by side coming into turn 3, but it looks like the kick car is quick enough to get by Liam there. Just to back of the top 2, Gareth Bobberts has increased his gap even further. He's getting to the 9-second mark now, so even though he's in the lead, he's still putting quick times in to increase that gap. Tex is
so much quicker through the corners, as in the background there's Supply Raptor trying to get attacking Liam Hardman, but it's not happening. Tex so quick, hounding JT, but it's this top line speed is just not there. Struggling at the moment. Liam Hardman still holding on in front of Supply Raptor at the moment, as apparently it's supposed to go dry. My goodness, imagine if that happens as well. I kind of hope Michael's wrong. I kind of want it to finish wet, to be honest, because I think we've had enough chopping and changing with all the action. But let's see how it will all pan out. And if it does go dry, I'm sure it's going to be an incredible finish anyway. And people deciding whether they want to stay on hards, stay on wets, or go on to a set of softs to finish this Grand Prix. But it is all still wet weather at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. If it goes dry, that's another aspect into this Grand Prix. Ticking all the boxes. Get your bingo cards out, guys. But back towards Tex Brutal and JD down the straight. There you go. JT must have just a great setup, Gareth, because Tex Brutal can't catch him at all. He's not using all his battery either. They're both about the same, but JT clearly has the quicker car on the straight line. Liam and Treat side by side. There's contact, between Liam and Supply Raptor, and that's him losing the place. I think Liam's let him back through out of courtesy there. But contact down near the bottom of the top 10, guys. It's still all to play for in this race.
So much action going on. I'm not sure where to go. Tex Brutal dives up the inside into turn 3, but I think JT's desperately trying to keep it in there, but it's not happening at the moment, and that is BRT 4th and 5th respectively right now. Treat and Supply Raptor battling away just in the background. Oh goodness me, is that a drift from Tex through turn 5? He was making damn sure he was keeping a hold of that position. Oh, excuse me, sorry, from JT and Shazoo Venom up into 7th place. It is all, I think, about to happen.
It is, isn't it? Everything's going on. We spoke, briefly about how FG was the team to keep an eye on, and obviously now it's BRT, the team that could get a big heap of points. We thought that Finbob was out of this with that damage to his front wing, but obviously clearly is not affecting him that much. Has he got damage to both sides? I'm just waiting the camera to pan round on Finbob there. I still can't see from this helicopter angle, but like I said, it's still all to play for. Partick closing the gap down slightly, Gareth, as we've got more yellow flags, and that is Liam Hardman out of the Grand Prix.
After so worked so hard, Liam Hardman, I don't think we're going to get a safety car here, or virtual. But yeah, front wing damage to both sides of Finbob's. He's doing a great job of holding that car together at this moment in time. TTM are going to pick up some crucial points because of that retirement, TTM Alson possibly going to be able to get Bourbon Boy through this as well, which will be good for the TTM team to picking up points because JT is up into 6th place. But Mulder unable to really respond to Partick at the moment.
Gareth, the rain has stopped, and Quantum is risking it on the softs.
Oh my goodness me. What happened?
It looks very dry all of a sudden as well.
Oh my goodness. Poor Bobberts. Poor Bobberts has done everything right. He's had all the luck, but now it could go against him. He's got to make sure he gets to the pit. Doesn't do anything stupid, like put it into the wall. Let's stay on board with Bobberts just for a little bit. Give him some screen time. Put added extra pressure to him because these corners are going to be absolutely crucial for him and his race win tonight.
Absolutely. There's still a bit of spray on circuit. DRS has not been enabled either. So track is drying, but is it enough? I think it might be with obviously just over 3.5 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. It'll be key. Well, we'll see now whether our race leader pulls it into the pits. Obviously, a couple of guys risking it already on the softs, but it looks like Bobbers is going to stay out for another lap, Gareth. Could this be his demise, or could this be a good strategy call? We'll have to wait and see.
We will. Let's see what Bartek does. And Mulder, they are staying out. It was a little bit of a feint to go in, but it does look like it is pretty even footing between softs and intermediates at the moment. Let's see the timing screen between Quantum and Alcin. Actually, if anything, Inters are definitely still the tyre to be on. Quantum is not gaining.
Yeah, it's going up 10th by 10th, corner by corner, Gareth. I think Quantum may be pitted too early. And even if it goes dry, Gareth, are we going to get enough laps? Is it worth just risking it? Well, not risking it, just tippy-toeing on those intermediates, getting around. Is that quicker than doing a whole pit stop at this Grand Prix? I'm not sure.
We'll wait and see. Maybe it was maybe they were, they know they're going to get points as there's a yellow flag somewhere. That looks like Samuel having an incident at turn 16. Maybe it was a feign from Quantum, but it was both the McLaren cars have decided to pit there. So we will wait to see. It definitely doesn't look wet anymore. So I wouldn't have blamed them for that. But the engineers are probably going to get some stick from their drivers.
Yeah, I bet. It looks wet in the last sector, Gap, but the rest of the circuit looks a bit dry. If you look at the pit straight, Samuel coming across the line. It's looking pretty dry.
Oh, Shazoo Venom. He's just had a near tank slapper as he goes up the inside of JT through turn 14. He's flying at the moment, trying to get as many points at the moment. But you're right, yeah, sector 3, a little bit wetter than everything else, which is possibly why Samuel had his incident.
Yeah, it could be. Bobbert stays out for another lap. Does anyone take the risk and go in on this lap? They're all staying out. It looks like Gareth Venom gets past Finn Bob going down the pit straight, but can Finn Bob get back? He tried to stay into the slipstream. He's around the outside. Can he swing it around the outside of the Venom? He tries to switch back. Venom drifting into turn 1, holds it just about. And Venom, the Shizujo, just about stays in the lead for now, but on to the second straight here. Whoa, where did Supply Raptor come from? No, Supply Raptor, sorry, JT come from through turn 2. And we know how quick he is in a straight line, and flying down towards turn 3, the Williams driver, and he takes Finbob out of nowhere.
I was half expecting Finbob to be a lot quicker because, the weight reduction from losing most of his front wing, but he is not having a good time of it at the moment. I think he's just sticking it out to be get as many points as possible. As Supply Raptor for company just behind. Those softs still aren't kicking in yet. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's going to be enough for these drivers to take a punt and go on the soft. Another yellow flag, and I think that's Samuel again struggling behind PJR Andrea.
Yeah, I think so. Those softs, you can see the gap between Ailsin and Quantum is just going up bit by bit. I think it's the circuit isn't drying enough. I don't think it's worth it. 2 laps remaining. I'd argue there's no point even pitting on the final lap to when you've got that. If Bobbers were to pick Gareth, he'd lose the lead. And can he close that gap quick enough? I don't think he could. it's not worth the risk.
We will wait and see. And if anyone knows it better than anyone, it'll be the guys in the top 3 at the moment. They're doing a fantastic job. Mulder, Bobbitts and Partick, not in that order, are flying away. And saying that, Mulder has gone up and taken the position from Partick. They've got Tex Brutal behind. Tex Brutal has, had interesting parts in this race, and he's now back on a podium hunt. This is going to be interesting. 2 laps remaining. We're on the penultimate lap. What can happen here? Let us know in the chat. It's clearly Bobbitts for the taking at the moment, but how's the podium going to finish?
Well, Tech brought up the inside of Partick. Then Partick goes from second to 4th in 3 corners. Unfortunately for him, but he'll be able to attack with a lap and a half to go, Gareth. He's in the best position at the moment. He can sit back for a lap and maybe wait till the end of the Grand Prix to really push. We've seen, like you mentioned, in the PC and the PS4 side, the race went down to the final echelons of the race, literally across the line. So could this be the case for second place here in this race on the Xbox tier? We'll have to wait and see.
Time will tell. The soft runners are still struggling. It's definitely not going to be pits time for Bobbitts. He is just cruising at this point now. The time is going down. It's 7.5 seconds when it was 8.5 seconds a few laps ago. He is being caught, surely, by not that much. Is he really just taking it as easy as possible? I think he is. These guys battling away. There's a little bit of contact, but no damage, I don't think, between Tex Brutal and Mulder. Partick losing out on the podium. He's struggling to keep up. It's now 6.6 seconds between Mulder and the leader. This is going to be interesting whether Bobbitts can hold on. What's going on there? But to battle it into second place on the final lap of the race, Tex Brutal is there. He's going to get Mulder to have a go back, but it's not going to be on this occasion. I think that's the best place for Mulder to be is behind Tex Brutal before going on that back straight.
I think so, and Partick is nowhere near. He's made a mistake into turn 1. Gareth hit the wall on the outside. He's got to close a second within the next 2 sectors to try to even have a punt at getting onto this podium here. It looks like he's closing, but again, there's a drive off by Mulder, caution sector, and I think that's Samuel making more mistakes, unfortunately. Hopefully that's not affecting Bobbitts at all there, but the gap between Bobbitts and Tex is coming down quite quickly. I don't think it's enough, Gareth, but Bobbitts is really taking the time on his last lap.
He wants, as long as he's not within a second and a half when they come round turn 16, because that would be crucial, I think. I think Tex and Mulder might both be able to get him through that. I think there is front wing damage, major front wing damage on Bobbitts' car. The pressure's getting to him a little bit. It's 4.5 seconds. Tex knows he's got a chance of a win if he can get it right, but I don't think Bobbitts is going to leave this one in the dust. Look how he's just got to make sure 16 is perfect. It's 4 seconds now between Tex and Bobbitts. It is done, surely. Bobbitts, when he was in the commentary box with me in the qualifiers, he said he thought this was going to be the end for him. I don't think it is. Not with a performance like this. Bobbitts is going to take victory for Shazoo at Baku in some style. And what a race for him. Tex Brutal's coming across the line in second place, and surely Mulder holds on for the final podium. But a heartache for Partick, and then Venom coming back in 5th place there. There goes JT and Supply Raptor with Finbob holding out with damage to 8th. The Treat is coming home there in 9th place with Alcin. And Bourbon Boy has binned it at the end. Contact. He's got no fring.
Contact Ace trying to go up the inside through 19, Gareth, and contact with Bourbon Boy, and that could be a penalty at the end. Well, no, he's letting him through. In fairness to Ailson, he let him through there. I think that's penalty averted there for the Williams driver. But contact right to the end, Gareth. It went all the way to the end.
Look how much of a struggle it is for Quantum to finish this one. Rambo has crashed on the final lap. I wonder how that one will work out. Good luck, people in CSS, for that, trying to see if he will deserve points. Time will tell. I don't think Quantum is, well, there, he crossed the line now. He is unfortunate through all that, but he does pick up points nonetheless for NVR with a qualifying ban to his to NVR and to his name. He will be happy with points no matter what. Mulder gets driver of the day from the game. I'll ask you to what your thoughts are on that, and whether you have a different one in mind. But what a way to end this, or to have this Baku Grand Prix in competitive speed series, because it's been absolutely phenomenal. A great drive from Bobberts. Tex Brutal coming back through it as well. We had that incident on lap 1. I wonder how the stewards are going to judge that one. Absolutely pouring it with rain from the start of the Grand Prix, and then moving on to the intermediate tyres with very nearly dry at the end. But yeah, there we have it. There's the podium celebrations, and Bobberts takes victory in some style here tonight, with Tex Brutal in second place, Mulder in third, with Partek in fourth place. Great points for AMS. Shazoo Venom in fifth, sixth to JT. Supply Raptor in seventh, eighth to Finbob. The Treat in ninth, 10th is Bourbon Boy. Alcin in 11th there, with more points for TTM, but not as much as they would have wanted tonight. Quantum in 12th. Rambo classified 13th, so I suppose he's going to get points for 13th. 14th was Samuel and PGR Andrea, rounding out the rest of the point scorers, with 16th to go to Hardman. He DNF'd, so did Detto. He will be kicking himself because he had a great opportunity for points for CRE again tonight, and then Flame, unable to finish as well. Well, I don't know about the drivers, but I'm definitely sweating. That was a very, very tough race for those guys. Fantastic, nonetheless. Ollie, your thoughts on that one?
Well, it was non-stop, wasn't it, Gareth? It was just so intense, constantly. I think the only respite we had was maybe the last lap when the gaps increased a little bit, didn't they? It was just non-stop. Great racing. Again, I think the stewards might be a little bit busy with some of the content we had early on in that race. But nonetheless, it was a great outing here this evening for CSS. I mean, I'm knackered and I'm not even driven. I've just been talking. It's just been non-stop. I think I would have been nice to sit in the rain for a little bit to cool down, Gareth, after that.
Yeah, maybe we needed to be in Baku to just walk out and touch the rain. But yeah, some incredible viewership again tonight. So thank you very much for watching. I'm hoping to see if anyone will come join us to have a chat with us, because there was some real great racing. And Bobberts, you know what? Great from a Shazoo point of view. Possible 1-2 was on the cards at one stage, and I wonder if Shazoo Venom will be kicking himself, or whether he did pick up damage from that last pit stop and he knew he had to, because we saw how Finbob went down the order.
Yeah, well, I think there were multiple opportunities for Shazoo to get a good haul of points this evening, and unfortunately they've just made small mistakes that cost them in this race. And you could argue the same for BRT as well. Both had a chance to get a good haul of points, as did FGE as well. You know, the multiple teams. So I'm just looking at the teams to make sure I get them right, Gareth. I think there's multiple chances for teams to get a good haul of points. Obviously, some did better than others, as the way it goes, but there's some real opportunities this evening to really put a stamp on the championship. And I think some drivers just, individually, yes, but obviously this is a group led championship, team championship. So, but again, it's only still early doors in this season. Still plenty of races to go, and obviously next week is a mystery week.
Yeah, mystery week. We're gonna like to see how that one. I wonder if it's. I wonder. It won't surely. Maybe it's a mystery race for each different platform. Imagine that. Who knows?
No data to go off.
Who knows what it's going to be? You'll have to wait and see on the socials and in the Discord to see how that one will pan out. But it'll be interesting to see people in the chat what your thoughts on Driver of the Day would be as well. But Ollie, who would you give it to first, I suppose?
I think there are many honourable mentions. Venom, Boulder, Tech. There's a few out there, but for me, starting in 10th and getting the win there, Bobberts. All sorts of emotions going through that race, so I think I'd have to give it to our race winner. it was non-stop, and I think every single driver should have finish that race should have a tap on the back, because it was a tap on the back and some sort of reward, because it was so difficult. Like I said, I've said multiple times, I'm glad I'm not racing. To go through multiple safety cars, the heavy rain, light rain, and almost dry near the end there as well, which is difficult enough on rain tyres on a dry circuit is difficult enough. So great racing from all, but I think for me, it would be Bobberts to for driver of the day today.
Yeah, absolutely incredible drive from Bobberts. Partick as well. I have to give him a shout out, because finishing fourth, qualified 12th, nearly had a podium. Would have been great for AMS, but they did manage to get some good points haul still. FGE had some good point score haul as well, with Mulder up in third place. Great for him. Great to see him finishing as well. I know he struggled a little bit last week, but it's great to see him doing a good job still as well. Good to see his name bounding around still as well. And who else? You know what? Tex, I don't know if I don't want to put words in people. He could be the one that caused the incident at lap 1, turn 3. I can't remember. I don't want to put. But BRT will be, considering all the problems and issues, they will be happy with the amount of points scored tonight, I think.
I think so. I think they'll take it with everything that went on in that race. I mean, it could have been more, and I think that's what will be kicking the teeth for them. At one point, they looked like they were going to get a podium as a double podium as did Shazoo at one point. But you saw how quick Finn Bob was in the early stage of the Grand Prix, leading the race at one point. So to obviously not do as well as they thought. Damage caused at Finn Bob. He didn't have only barely had a front wing left on that car. It may as well be made out of cardboard. Really near the end of that race. So I think they'll be kicking themselves, but they'll come back stronger next week, I'm sure. Wherever we are next week, we'll have to wait and see. But I think those who just finished that race, I think, should get a round of applause, because it was difficult.
No one has decided to come join us today, so let's have a look at the calendar. We are a third of the way through the season. We have completed Britain, Italy, Saudi Arabia, Azerbaijan, and now we are in a mystery Grand Prix for next week's race from Friday. The PC side of things are on Friday, then PlayStation on Sunday, if I got it right. I might have got it completely wrong, but they will be having the action first, and then the best of Xbox will be seen on Monday with Ollie and myself. Then we've got the Netherlands to round out the first half of the season. Then we have a break. Then we go to Spa-Francorchamps for round 7. Then Qatar. Then Las Vegas. Then another mystery Grand Prix. And then Hungary and Japan to round out the season. Ollie, what a race. Absolutely phenomenal here. I'm so glad you were here, because I don't think I would have been able to handle that one on my own. But final words from you, please.
I mean, like I've said already, well done to all the drivers, and thank you to all those that stuck with us in the rain. There were some long moments behind the safety car, but it was non-stop action throughout that race. Well done to everyone who finished the race. Look forward to next week already, wherever we go. Hopefully, it's not a street circuit. No, wouldn't mind a proper circuit.
Monaco.
Imagine 3 in a row. Wouldn't that be great? And more rain, maybe. No, I think that would be a very long evening in Monaco in full wet. I think, I might have to take the day off work if we have Monaco in the rain. But we'll deal with it. I'm sure we'll keep ourselves entertained in some way, shape, or form. Keep the audience entertained. But yeah, great race tonight, Gareth. And thanks to all those who tuned in. And hopefully the same next week.
Fingers crossed. Yes, I echo that one. Thank you so much for tuning in throughout the whole of the race. And thank you for sticking with CSS Competitive Speed Series. I did get it right. No shots on this occasion, though I think I possibly need one for the amount of time it took me to say that. But it's been fantastic. The racing has been an interesting one here tonight, with lots of action happening throughout. CRE will be questioning poor old Dettel, and poor Shazoo Venom will be questioning whether he should have stayed out. But for now, it is about a race all about it's not Shazoo Bobberts, but I'm going to call him Shazoo Bobberts because he had an absolute flyer tonight. But for now, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.